What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy BT, and today we're going to be dealing with this Fisker Ocean key. One of the most hated things that I hate about this car is the key, but we're going to try and do something different today. So we're going to show you how to disassemble this. I have no idea. I've never disassembled this before, but we're going to see if we can figure it out. First thing we're going to do, slide this back up right here. And pop this off. This might end up being the sacrificial key to get this done, so we'll see. Pop the battery out. Next thing we want to do is take this top piece off here. So if you just go around the edge and find a spot that you could grab, get your fingernail in here like this, right there. You can see that I'm peeling that lip there. Go ahead and just peel that lip off right there. Just pop that around the side until you get to the back section of the key. Alright, so now that we've got all that off, right there at the top here, we're just going to have to wiggle this out. And here is the cover that gets so worn down that you can barely see anything. But we know based off of this, we've got unlock here, lock here, opening the window for the back, and then the trunk. So that's going to be important when you see what we're going to do with this key here. Alright, so next thing is how do we get inside here? So this is where I think this key might not make it. We're going to try to open this up. I have no idea how this is assembled. I'm going to see if I can pop this out. So I'm going to go ahead and push my finger in right here. Right in that spot right there, and I'm going to pry at the same time. See if I can get, there we go. I think I'm able to grab onto it. So, yeah, there we go. All right. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So that is the way to take it apart. All right. So this is what goes inside and covers it. Right there. All right. So with that said, here is the key inside. And then this is our battery. So we know from our battery, positive is here, negative is beneath. So the positive is on the top, the negative is on the bottom. So this is your positive post here. This is your negative post here. Alright, so I'm going to take a little pry tool here and gently pop this out. Alright, and here, this is the brain of the Fisker Ocean key. So what we're looking to do here, we're going to need to be working here, and then we're going to be working on these buttons right here. Now these circuits are so small, so hopefully we'll be able to do what we need to do. So, why did we pull that key apart? Well, we pulled that key apart because there is something on the market that might actually fix all my troubles. So we're going to go ahead and give it a stab here. But here is the user manual, and we're going to end up focusing right here on this here. So you can see we've got a multi-function button. We've got a battery, we've got a lock, unlock, and a trunk. So, as you notice here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 things that we can do with these wires here. We have 5 buttons on here. So the reality is you've got the lock, you've got the unlock, you've got the trunk, and then your multifunction, you can either put it to the glass or you can put it to California mode. Alright, so what are we talking about today? We are talking about this key right here. This key right here. I'm going to go ahead and turn that on. This key right here should allow us to lock, unlock right from here. And the cool thing about it is, from what I understand, you can actually walk up to the car and the car will unlock, which is one of my biggest gripes with this car. So let's go ahead and get this thing out of here. Alright, so let's open up this box here. Let's see what we got inside. So with this ODB connector here, that's what's going to communicate with that and allow us to do our locking and unlocking, which is pretty cool. Next, inside the rest of the package here, we have a charging cable. We've got a pass certificate thing here. We've got a new back, which is going to house the new circuit, the Fisker circuit, in the back of the key. And then we have this super tiny, so we're going to have to take our time. It's going to be a very precise job here. Don't know that I've done anything in this fashion before, but if we can get all of these things soldered properly, it's going to be a game changer for this key. All right, so here on the back of the key, let's see how we open up this key here. So in here is where there is a USB-C charging port right there. And then to get this cover off, man, let's see what the directions say so I don't break anything here. All right, I was finally able to get the back off. I just pried it up in this little corner right here and was able to pop it off. So now that we have that open, we can see where this little setup right here is going to plug into right here. Yeah, this is really hard to see, but if you look here, the red is going to be facing the inside according to this diagram here. So I believe it should go in this way, like so. And then your key is going to sit on top of here, and then the cover is going to come over and close on top. So I already see some challenges with the way this key is, and the little bump out, and the little bump out here, and the antennas. It is going to pose a little bit of a challenge to even close this off in here. So this is what we're going to be working with, and if that is as far as we can go, it's going to be a very, very tight fit to get this in here. So if we just look at the way that is, and then where the key sits, it's really a challenge to get that closed. So we'll have to see how that works, but hopefully we can get this thing soldered on and figure the rest out. All right, so here with this board, I was looking at the setup here for both this extended larger back and then short back. I think we can make it fit in the short back, but what we're going to have to do is, I'll do this as an example here. You can see how this fits. What we're trying to do is get this pointed part here sitting right at the base of here, which is right above where that USB-C connector sits. So in order to do that, we're going to take this notched piece, hook it right there, and if you notice, once we put it here in place like this, it sits exactly kind of where it needs to. But the issue is we're going to need to cut out some of this excess. So what I've done is I've taken a pencil and I've marked the edge here of where I believe needs to be trimmed down. And so we're going to do that on this guy here and see if we can't get this thing trimmed down. So we'll get to work. Now we're going to use this Dremel on a low setting so that hopefully it doesn't burn the plastic. All right, now we're going to go ahead and check our fitment. So not quite there yet. Got a little bit more we have to grind down in order for it to sink in. All right, we finally were able to fine-tune it here. I fine-tuned it with this tip right here. But I was able to get it to where I put a little bit of an indentation here, and I grinded down a good chunk of it here. And so with that said, I am able to get this in like so. And the first thing I do is I'm going to put the backside in here and then press everything else down. And as you can see, I was able to actually fit this in with the thin back instead of having to use the raised back. So definitely happy about that. Now that we have this modified, we can actually move on to soldering and then testing it out on the vehicle. Alright, so this is my soldering station setup. I've got a magnifying glass there. I've got my station right there. Soldering iron. Ready to go. So I should be able to look through this magnifying glass and do what I need to do. See everything nice and easy. I've got my soldering iron. It's hot. So let's get to work. Alright, so this is going to be a very tedious process. So just take your time with it. So we got the lock and unlock hooked up along with the battery. We're going to go ahead and plug this in and give it a test run to see if we made a good connection. These are all that we're going to hook up for now. A quick test has shown that it works, but we had to just come back in here and tighten up some spots. So we're going to go ahead, get this thing hooked up, close it up, and take it out for an actual test, a drive, see how this thing works. Alright, so here we are. We've got the two items here. All I have to do, I'm going to open up the car with the other key, and we've got this one. It's powered on, and we're ready to go. So we're going to go ahead and plug this into the ODB port and see what we get. Alright, so with that plugged in, our key is activated and ready to go. So, if we go here to the side, we've got a lock button. the vehicle locks. We have on the other side an unlock button. The vehicle unlocks. Then we have a trunk button. Hold it for 1 second. And the trunk opens. And then if we hold it for 1 second again, the trunk closes. So it's pretty cool to be able to use this key instead of the other key, which we all know as the original key, which should have had a lot of these functions in there, you know, from the factory. I mean, it's 2026 right now. This car is manufactured in what, 23, 24? So yeah, it should have had this functionality in it. But here's the coolest part, and this has been the biggest gripe as an owner of this vehicle. Check this out. Key in hand, we're gonna walk up, and as it senses the key, the door's open. You can open the door, close the door. And just so you see that I'm not pushing any buttons on this key, I'm gonna let you walk with me as I walk away. All right, so you can see here, key in my hand, the door is still open. The door's open, see that? Now watch what happens as we walk away. When you get far enough away, it locks on its own. Now tell me that isn't the coolest key the way that it should be for this Fisker. And there you have it. Doors are opening and closing. I'll show you real quick the screen here. I'm gonna power that on, unlock it. So you can see here on my screen, I am able to unlock. I'm able to lock. And then if we go to the other screen here, I can open the trunk. One hold here. Hold it down. There's the trunk. Now if I hold it down, closes. So this is pretty cool. You can kind of see here how this key is, but it's pretty neat. And because we were able to get this done with the slim back, everything stays slim and beautiful. It's a great key. So that's it for this video. I walk up, the door is open, I walk away, and the door will close. It's your boy BT. Thank you for checking out this video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.